Good morning. I'm Kathy Callahan, your healing psychic, and you are listening to today's broadcast on my Facebook page, which is called A Free Psychic Reading. And today's topic is what's causing that illness. Now, as we all know, illness has a variety of ways of popping up. And one of the ways is in our physical body. When we think of health, that's what we all think of is the physical body. But it could be the health of our marriage. It could be the health of our work, our career, our family, our friendships. There's a variety of ways that health pops up in our everyday life. And so today we're going to look at what is causing health problems? What's behind that illness? What's causing that illness? And one of the things that contribute to illness or wellness is the ability, of course, to eat well. If we continue to eat foods that have poison sprayed on them and the poison goes into our bodies, then our bodies have to fight to stay healthy. And if we overload our bodies with foods and water that's not clean and clear, our bodies begin to break down. Hello, Nicole. Welcome, honey. Nice to see you. So that's one of the big contributing factors to illness. And another contributing factor is our mental state. What we think about the most is what we manifest in our lives. If we're constantly thinking about, will I keep my job? Am I going to have enough money to pay the rent? What we do vibrationally is we stress our body. And our cells, every cell in our body, the cells that cause all these wrinkles, the cells that produce fingernails, the cells that keep our breasts healthy. Good morning, Marie Liker. Good to see you, honey. Look at that cute little baby. So everything contributes to the wellness or not of our cells. And when we're stressed at work, it affects our body. When we're trying to find work, it stresses out our body. When we have poor relationships with our family members, it stresses out our body. So there's a lot of contributing factors, but there's a lot of solutions. That's the really good news. And I do want you to know that if you are experiencing any kind of health crises, health concerns, there's a way out. And I do want to share with you one of the things that really helped me. Oh wait, look at this. Christina, good morning. Marie Liker is viewing your video now. Oh look, I can see what everybody's saying. Hey, good morning, Nicole. Morning, Marie. If you can hear me fine, if everything looks okay, could you hit the thumbs up or the heart or one of the faces? Could I see that scroll across the screen to make sure I'm coming across all right? That would be great if you could do that. And then I want to have somebody talk to you. I have a special guest for you this morning. There's Marie, thumbs up, and a heart. Oh, yay, look at that. Good, wonderful. I have a special guest who I wanted him to share with you how he has overcome some severe health problems and conditions and what it is that worked for him. And then we're going to get into some readings here, so get your questions ready. But somebody who's helped me so much with my own health problems, and I've had some pretty severe ones, is my husband, Kevin. And I'm going to have him come in and sit down and explain to you how gratitude worked for him and why it worked. Okay, let me move the chair.
That's called dead air. Oh, I'm not as tall as you are. I'm not in the middle of the page. Oh, excuse me. Oh, good morning, everyone. Oh, what's that? Oh, as unaccustomed as I am to public speaking. Kathy was mentioning gratitude. Just a quick note on gratitude. Gratitude is very, very important. If you're not experiencing gratitude or practicing gratitude, you're living in the pains of the past, and that does nobody any good. You can't be open for positive energy and vibrations if you're concentrating on the negativity of all those bad things that happened to you in the past, the terrible bosses, the terrible events, the cop that didn't understand you were in a hurry, all of those things keep you from being grateful and vibrating at a resonance that allows you to be receptive to things, good things. I don't know if this ties into laws of attraction, but if you are negative, you will attract negative. And
could you give me some examples of how you do gratitude every day?
oh, I'm grateful for indoor plumbing, a job, hot running water, a shower, my wife, my cats, a comfortable bed, a big screen TV, just everything that you experience that gives you a warm, fuzzy feeling during the day. Take time to notice it. And the clouds, the trees, the sunshine, the air, everything. People are grateful for many, many things. You just have to be aware of them so that you can allow yourself to have this warm, fuzzy feeling of gratitude. And it is so important to have that warm, fuzzy feeling. Like I said, if you're negative, that's all you're going to attract is negative, and you won't be open for all of the positive things that are waiting for you in your life. You ask Kathy questions, is this romance going to last? Well, if you're negative, probably not. So I'm getting this from Kathy, and I don't know what that means. Does that mean wrap it up? Oh, she wants me out of here. I've done as much damage as she can stand. So I'm going to slip out of here, and hopefully we won't have tremendous dead air because Kathy is ready to slide back into the chair. So we'll see you sometime, and remember, be grateful for something, no matter how small. Just be grateful. Without it, you're dead. Bye.
All right, sweet darlings, good morning. Christina, I'm grateful to get to walk on the beach barefoot every day. You know, Christina, you put your pictures up of your daily walks every day, and I can't tell you how wonderful that makes me feel to see all these beautiful things that you see and take pictures of. And when we surround ourselves in beauty, our vibration changes, and it's really wonderful, and it's sweet, and we do attract the things that we're wanting in life. So I'm grateful, Christina, that you put those beautiful pictures of your morning walks up on your Facebook page for all of us to share. Marie Liker, I'm grateful for my son. You bet. All right, sweet darlings, let's get straight to the questions. If you would post your question, you know how to do it. I need your first name, your astrological sign, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, whatever your sign is, and your specific question. And the reason I keep asking for specific questions is because that's how I psychically zero in on your correct answer. All right, sweet darling. So while you're putting your question up, I'm going to tell you a story about what causes the illness. This is a true story, and it's a difficult story to retell, and it's a difficult story to hear, I know, but this stuff goes on throughout life, and this is an extreme version of illness. I had a friend, his name was Pokey. That was his nickname. His real name was James. His mom, I don't know about his dad, but I know that his mom had a drinking and drug problem. She had 3 children. It got really bad. She went into prostitution in order to pay for her living expenses and to try and get her children clothes to even go to school. I mean, it was really bad. Well, Pokey and his 2 sisters ended up going to live with their father's parents in Kentucky. And his grandfather was terribly abusive. And he would come home, Grandpa would come home drunk from the bars and shoot the house up. And so the children were running and hiding in the closets, and he was molesting the older sister. And the reason I'm telling you this horrible story is because there were effects, because these children didn't know how to handle it. And as they grew up, the daughter turned to food. She was, probably 500 pounds. And that was her protection against the abuse that she experienced. And the son, James, went directly to drugs and alcohol. And what happened is that long-term decades of stress, unresolved past, manifested in his body, and he ended up with diabetes. Well, diabetes is a disease that signals a past that hasn't been dealt with, and it revolves around a really bitter life. Well, true to form, Pokey, James, had a very bitter, scary life, and he was not able to resolve it. Well, he didn't have good role models, and so his way of handling this stress was, he's diabetic, and he would eat a carton of ice cream, and then he'd inject the insulin, and he'd try to counterbalance that. He kept going for the comfort foods in order to kind of numb that horrible feeling that had never gotten resolved. Well, the end result, to make a long story short, is that because he did not heal his past, pretty soon he had an injury to his foot. Well, you know, if you're diabetic, that you don't get a lot of good blood flow to your extremities. They had to chop off a toe. Pretty soon it was at the ankle, but then it was up at the hip, the knee, then it was up at the hip. Gangrene set in, and he died. Now, I tell you this horrible story because if we don't heal our past, it will manifest itself physically. And I am going to back up here a little bit. Please, if you have asked a question, copy it and repost it because it scrolls up out of my view. And one of the first questions was about sleep apnea. There it is. Christina, sleep apnea, type 2. Does that mean diabetes, honey? Sagittarius, help, Christina. All right. Now, one of the things, before I do cards for you, Christina, that I want to show you is this fabulous book. I know it's backwards. I don't know why it does that in a broadcast, but it's by Louise Hay, and it's called Heal Your Body. She is one of the leading people in the industry of our connection to our mindset, our emotions, and our physical health. So I'm going to look up sleep apnea, and I'll read to you, Miss Christina, what it says. It's not there. Let's see if sleep problems is there. I picked a really hard one for the first one here. Sleep. snoring. Okay, snoring's pretty close. A stubborn refusal to let go of old patterns. Okay, Christina. Now, you are a Sagittarius, and your best healing abilities is a positive attitude. Nobody, well, almost nobody, does it quite like a Sag can. They are the Pollyannas of the zodiac. They can find the good in everything, any situation. But this sleep snoring problem says there's something you're not letting go of, and it's stubborn. I don't want to let go of it. I don't have to let go of it. I'm waiting for somebody to say sorry for the damage that they've caused in the past towards me or towards my children, and I don't want to let go of it. There's a stubbornness that you have somewhere that you haven't quite addressed yet. And it's about a woman, and it may be more than one woman. This could be sisters, this could be female friends, but I would ask you, Christina, to take a careful look at where this stubbornness is. And type 2, as I see in your post, I'm assuming that's type 2 diabetes. Again, it's going to be a bitterness that you haven't let go of. Okay, Miss Christina, thank you for your question. Hello, Joselle. Welcome, honey. Kevin, howdy. Maureen, hi. Nice to see you again. Good morning, sweet pea. All right. Now, if you have asked questions, it's flown up and out of my view, so please copy and post it again. I would appreciate that. And while I'm looking for a new question, I do want to say that today's topic is what's causing that illness. And I'll use myself as an example. I had breast cancer in 2005. And when you look at cancer, you're looking at serious resentment, anger, even to the point of hatred, a refusal to let go of painful things from the past. And in my case, bingo, that was absolutely it. It was breast cancer. If it had been a different part of the body, it would have been different issues. But breast is always about mothering, nurturing, whether it's the mothering I'm doing toward my children or whether it's the mothering I'm receiving from my mother. And unrelenting stress causes the cells to start mutating and breaking down in everyone. Stress is a killer if it's not dealt with. So I had breast cancer, and I can directly attribute that to my stubbornness, which we saw earlier that Christina was dealing with. My stubbornness and refusal to let go until, by God, they apologized, and by God, somebody says I was right. There's a time and a place for stubbornness, and with your health, if it's a stubbornness and a willingness to get well, good. If it's a stubbornness waiting for something that may never happen, why would you want to risk your life waiting for something that may or may not happen? Okay, let me go forward. Christina, essential oils can help with PTSD. Look into it. Groups on Facebook. Great idea. Wonderful. Kevin says, I know how to flip your image. Oh, good. That must mean when I hold up the book and it reads backwards. Good. I'll try and have that fixed for you next week. Marie, my real first name is Naomi. I'm a Scorpio. Was wondering if I'll get past my PTSD and anxiety issues. Excellent, Marie. PTSD, as I understand it, is long-held stress. I think I'm correct. If I'm correct, Marie, will you give me a thumbs up? PTSD comes from a variety of things. It can be from rape. It can be from war. It can be from an abusive household. There's a million ways PTSD comes up. Now, this book was written several years ago, and I'm looking up PTSD, and I'm not finding it. Could you, Marie, tell me what PTSD stands for? Maybe I can look it up under a different name. But I will look up anxiety, and I'll show you what Louise Hay says about anxiety. Here we go. Not trusting the flow and the process of life. Oh, God. Here's what I would recommend to anybody that has anxiety, like Marie was talking about. Post-traumatic stress disorder. Thank you, honey. When we have anxiety, we believe that, much like Atlas, it is up to us to make sure everything goes correctly. The ability to be in a receiving mode is practically non-existent. Here's an example. I've got high anxiety, I've got prolonged stress disorder, and I have to watch it. I have to be vigilant. I have to make sure that nothing comes in to disturb me, because otherwise I get severe anxiety. I can't leave the house. My blood pressure goes up. There's any number of ways that PTSD comes out, as we know. And when anxiety was one of mine, when we believe that we have to fix everything, it's not humanly possible, and no wonder our anxiety level goes up. I knew somebody who was being treated for severe anxiety and agoraphobia. She couldn't leave the house, and it's one of the symptoms of being unwilling to be in the flow, or unable. But I will tell you for sure, in any illness, any anxiety disorder that we have, it is possible, not even possible, it is, you can guarantee that you can move out of that. And here's going to be my suggestion, Miss Scorpio, because all Scorpios are here to be healed and to help others heal. You have to find a power greater than yourself that you can believe in. Could be God, could be Buddha, could be nature, it could be prayer, it could be meditation, it could be love, it could be any number of things. But when we place the weight of the world and its problems on our own shoulders, it is humanly impossible for us to fix everything. And so being in the flow means that you are allowing life to happen. Of course, if you're a mother, you protect your children. If you are married, you protect the marriage. If you are working, you protect your work environment. There are things that you are responsible for, but you have to look at what you're not responsible for and turn that over to your higher power, whatever that may be. This card shows for you, sweet darling, that you have the ability and the strength to do it. But like all, this is a fire sign card. Fire signs are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And all fire signs teach us to go find a power greater than ourselves. My own severe illnesses were a result of thinking very much like what anxiety teaches us, that I had to fix everything. I can't, I couldn't, I tried. And the stress made me sick. And so I did have to go find a power greater than myself. And it's not terribly traditional, but it works for me. Thank you, sweet darling. Wendy Foodie, welcome, honey. You are a Capricorn, and I'm wanting to know if things will get easier for me. Does my ex have any messages for me and our daughter, Craig? Is your daughter's name Craig, or is that your ex? Are you two Capricorns? I don't need the birthdays, honey. All I need are the signs. Wendy wants to know, does your ex have any messages? Not at this time. Your ex is very silent. The health of the relationship may be in a healing mode. All of us, when we are dealing with an ex, need, in order to heal, need some time away, need some quiet time. I don't see him coming back and being ready to talk it over or to repair things. It appears that your ex needs a lot of time by himself. So I would say do whatever healing work you have to do. Forgive him for his humanness. Forgive yourself. And at least for now, get to the point where you are able to say, hey, if he comes back, fine. If he doesn't come back, fine. But I've got things to do, and I've got things to pay attention to, and I have responsibilities, and let me pay attention to that instead of him, because he is really silent. Joselle, thank you, sweetheart. Joselle, I have anxiety and panic attacks. I know. I'm helping my daughter with hers because I know about it. I'm going to say the same thing to you, Miss Joselle, the Capricorn. You got to find a higher power. Look what card just came up for you. Same one we just had. This is about finding a power greater than yourself. I don't know what that is. I don't know how that works for you. I find peace and insights and help when I get out in nature. I'm kind of a nature girl. And whatever works for you, you've got to find a power greater than yourself. You didn't make the planet spin. You didn't produce the universe. You didn't produce the air that our lungs need to breathe that oxygen. There's something greater than yourself. And when there's anxiety, it's because you think that you have to do it all, and you don't. All right. Annie Strickland, Capricorn, what will I be doing next for a career? Let's take a look at the health of your career, sweet darling. And of course you would ask that. You're a Capricorn, and Capricorns are all about building a career, a responsibility, not just a job. A job is kind of Taurus-like. A Capricorn is something you can build your reputation on. I see you in a great hurry about your career. Now, you were born, it shows here, in 1982, so that would make you, how old? 30s, in your 30s? There may be a part of you that is in such a big hurry that you're saying, I should have done more by now, I should have more by now, I should be more directed by now. You got a whole lifetime. I know how important your career is to you, and I'm going to recommend, based on this card, that if you're not already doing what you love, what makes your heart sing in the morning, it's time to either change your attitude or find something you really love. I'm going to give you a quick example because we're almost out of time here. In the past, I had this job in sales. I hate sales. I was working for a chamber of commerce. I did really well in it, and we had lots of new people joining the chamber of commerce. But I got to tell you, I hated it. And I finally left the job. And for a Capricorn, I'm an Aquarian, but for a Capricorn, they've got to be doing something they love. Maybe they love sales. Maybe they love psychic work. I love psychic work. I can't think of anything else I'd rather do. No matter what your sign, all Capricorns teach us to do the work that we love, to build a life around an income, which is something we'd do for free if we were able to. Thank you, Miss Capricorn. All right, we are down to the very last. And if you have just joined us, I'm so sorry you came in late. Every Saturday morning, 8 o'clock Arizona time, I am live, and we have various topics, and I'll take as many questions as I can during that time. But we are out of time. I see Tisha saying Aquarius looking for direction. Stop. That was my last reading for this. Stop whatever it is you're doing, because if you're looking for direction, you're looking in too many places. If you stop, pray, meditate, get out in nature, whatever works for you. Quit talking to other people about it. Go within and you will find your direction. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for joining me this morning. You can find me on my Facebook page if you'd like to go more in depth with a private reading at agodlypsychic.com. My name is Kathy Callahan. I'm your healing psychic. I love you and thank you.